Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. This is your favorite girl in the world, and if I'm not that, just stick around long enough. I promise you I'm gonna be just that. So today I'm gonna be talking about living in an apartment building versus living in a house, just because I've been in Canada for over like 14-15 months, and I've stayed in 3 different kinds of housing accommodation, and I'm just here today to talk about my pros and cons, how I've experienced, what I think about these various accommodation settings. So the first thing I'm going to start with is apartment buildings, and I'm going to briefly run down the pros. So first one is, when it comes to apartment buildings, you have more privacy, because usually you could get a 1 bedroom apartment, 2 beds, 3 beds typically, and so that is you sharing your space with a lesser number of people. I mean, if it's a 3-bed apartment, for example, you're just sharing your space with 2 other people. Therefore, it's way easier for you to maintain in terms of cleaning the house, because all you have to do is sit amongst 2 other people and discuss who cleans the house. That should be easier to figure out, as opposed to maybe if you guys are 5 or 7, and of course, more people in the house, the tendency for you to even get dirtier, and it's harder for you to maintain. Secondly, you don't need to worry about trash, like in terms of sorting out your trash in apartment buildings, because they have those garbage chutes where all you have to do is wrap your trash and just dump it there. Usually they're not so strict about it, because even if you mix it and you put it in like food waste trash, what happens is they will still pack it. But unlike in a house setting, where if you don't put it, like if you don't put plastic where plastic is supposed to be, and papers, recyclables as against food waste, they're not gonna pick up your trash. Your trash is gonna sit outside waiting for you. So another thing is the views. Just imagine living in a 15th floor or 20th floor, and you just open the window and you're just seeing the sky looking so beautiful. You're seeing nature, you're just experiencing it. Now, if you're someone that loves pictures, imagine seeing the sunlight just flood into your room. Imagine the quality of picture you're going to be getting. It's just fantabulous. Another thing, apartment buildings, when you have visitors, you don't have to go all the way from upstairs to downstairs to go grab your visitors. All you have to do is, if they tell you they're downstairs, all they'll do is put the buzzer code. You would have a code. Usually different apartment buildings have codes, so once your visitor puts in the code, to buzz them in, and they can just walk in and take the elevator up to whatever floor you're at. So it makes life easier. You just open the door when they come, as opposed to leaving your room, walking down to the elevator, going downstairs to pick them up and come back. That is way less stressful for sure. Also, when it comes to apartment buildings, you usually find cameras everywhere, like most nooks and crannies of the apartment. So as an individual, you definitely feel safer, because you're like, oh, someone is watching after me. So even if it's like really late, you won't be scared to go out and think, oh, so maybe someone can hurt you, or so even in the night someone will come to your room in the night, or something like that, because you know that there are people watching and they got your back 100%. Also, when it's winter period, because it's an apartment building, they usually have staff who clear the driveways and the sidewalks for cars and pedestrians to pass through. Unlike if it's a house where you have to clear the snow yourself, by the time you wake up in the morning, you would have seen they would have cleared it for you. Also, when something is broken, all you have to do is fill it like an order form, and usually they're always quick to send people to come and fix it. It doesn't take time, as opposed to if you're living in a house and you probably have to reach your landlord, wait for them to reply, and if they're not even in town, you wait for them to come, maybe send someone, and it's just sometimes it's never really immediately. Unlike apartment building, where they have different staff for different things, so they usually would have people on site who could just come at that point, or even the next day, to come help you check what needs to be done and fix it for you. So that's one thing I like about apartment building. I don't know, like back home we don't have this thing, this animal. There's this animal called skunk, and oh my god, I mean, it looks cute. I'm not going to lie to you. If you see, you'll be like, oh my god, this thing looks adorable. But oh my god, if it sprays it's I don't even know what to call it. It's scent. I feel like it's a defense mechanism. So if you startle it, it will spray you showers of blessing. And by showers of blessings, oh god, the smell is, it will spray you. It's horrible. I mean, I've never been a victim, and I hope to never be a victim. But that smell is horrible. If like it sprays just around, like even outside your house, you'll be smelling it inside your house. But if you're living like on 14th floor, even if the skunk sprays downstairs on the ground floor, outside, the chances of you eat the smell reaching 14th floor is very slim, very slim. So you'll be good for it. Like, you won't smell it. Also, when it comes to apartment buildings, they usually have different activities going on. They would have like Halloween, maybe they'll have get together. They might have like cinema sometimes, where individuals can just go to the cinema room. They have gyms where you could go work out. So all these things are just means of bonding. So the chances of you making friends, especially if you're a friendly person or you're looking for friends or looking for an avenue to meet new people, is very high. Because even when you come out from your apartment, you say you want to walk from your door to the elevator, you will definitely meet one or two people. Enter the elevator, come downstairs to go outside, you will still meet more people. So you have more chances of meeting people as compared to if you were living in a house. So now I'm done with the pros of living in an apartment. Now let's move on to the con. When it comes to con or paid parking, I hate that paid parking. But I just feel like it's just a thing you get used to. Because imagine coming from like back from Nigeria, what's like paid parking? What is that? The first time I heard it when I came here, I was shocked. I was like, what are you paying for? I was really surprised. Because I mean, except you go to like places like ShopRite or then you know I have to pay. But in your own house, you are paying for parking. It was very strange. But that's the thing with apartment buildings, you have to pay for parking. And when I was there, then there was like underground parking and level parking. So I think the underground was I think it was 45, and then on top was 60, or vice versa. I can't really remember because I didn't have a car, but it was one of that. And that is, by the way, it is every month though. It's not a 1 year thing. Every month you'll be coughing out $60. So imagine 60 times 12, $720 just to park your car. For me, I found this really strange and absurd, but it is what it is here to know. Another thing is paid laundry. So you might be lucky, but most apartment buildings, the laundry is usually downstairs. So you'd have to go down, and they usually have this card, or you pay with coin. One in my apartment building, to wash clothes was $2.50 per cycle, and to dry clothes was $2. So you have to, it's a card you have to load up and basically tap. If you tap it, they remove their $2.50. It will run one cycle. You wash your clothes. To dry clothes too, you tap again, $2, dry your clothes. But it seems that is it. If you dry your clothes, the clothes will not dry. You have to tap again to be dry. So that's just money going. I was not a fan of it. Because if you're someone that washes like every week or every 3 days, you know how much you're going to be spending when it comes to washing clothes. I found it ridiculous. Another one is, most apartment buildings usually are not furnished. They're not furnished. So what usually they come with is fridge, freezer, that's long sets, the standing ones, microwave, some will come in microwave, and gas cooker. Every other thing you would have to do with, you would have to buy it in terms of furnitures, in terms of Wi-Fi, internet. You'll be the one that will have to provide it yourself. Some of them you'll have to pay for hydro, that's electricity. I mean, different apartment buildings have different requirements. Some is all inclusive, some you have to pay for these little things, and then you'll be the one that would have to buy your furnitures, your bed, your chairs, table, TV, things like that. So you might find some that are furnished, but most times apartment buildings would typically come unfurnished. So that's one of the things I didn't like, in terms of if you have to move from one place to another, you have to be carrying loads from one place to another, and that's quite stressful. So when it comes to apartment buildings, it's more expensive right now, especially with the way the market right here has turned to something else this last couple of months. Apartment building, 2 bedroom, you'll be getting it for like $1,600. That's you even getting a good deal. 2 bedroom, 3 bedroom, you could be getting it for like 2,3, even as high as 2,500 Canadian dollars, which is a lot. So it's expensive. Also, when it comes to apartment building, they are usually more expensive. Take a 2 bedroom, for example, going for 1,600. 3 bedroom going for like 2,400, 2,500. That's a lot. So it's definitely more expensive as opposed to living in a house. Now, another thing I don't like about apartment building is elevators. For example, you have an appointment, you are rushing to, like me, I'm always a late comer, and I'm always leaving my room late to go somewhere. You now stand and be waiting for elevator to come, that will take forever to come. That one side I don't like, and me, I don't like stairs. So imagine if you're staying 25th floor now, you stand and wait for elevator to come, or enter and wait for it to take you down. That's something I never really like. Now, another thing, me, for someone like me, I am scared of pets. I'm scared of dogs, I'm scared of cats. I mean, you can control inside your house if you want dogs or cats, depending on who your roommates are. But when it comes to outside, here, apartment buildings, they usually would allow pets. They're usually pet friendly. So you would see, if you come out from your room and you're walking, you will see them, like dogs walking with their owners and stuff. But me, I'm always scared. So my stress level is always high, because I'm like, oh, I don't want to, like, I'm scared I'll meet one that might, I mean, some of them can be nice, but I'm always like, I don't want to meet someone that will change it for me. And there was one time, to be honest, and I think what has even made it worse now is one time when I was coming out from the elevator, there was this huge dog. By the time he stood on his 2 foot, you know me, I'm short, he was way taller than me, like he was coming for me in full force. If not for the fact that his owner held him back, I'm pretty sure that dog would have beaten me. Like, I was in full-blown panic attack. Like, it was not fun. So usually what I do is, anytime I want to enter, I'm looking left, right, okay, make sure that there's nobody. When I come out, same thing. And for me, that was like too much stress. Kilo day, it's not that deep, but that was what it was. Now we're going to be starting with house. So I'm just going to give you a rundown of because I've stayed in 2 different house settings. So the first house I stayed in was a 5-man house, 5 bed, 3 washrooms. So 4 people shared 2 washrooms, and the last person had their private washroom. However, we all shared kitchen, and we all shared laundry room. Now, this current one I'm staying in is a 5-man house, but the thing is, upstairs people have their own kitchen and their own amenities, while downstairs people, I stay in the basement, and we're just 2, me and one other person. So here we have our own kitchen, our own every other thing, our own washroom, microwave, fridge. So we don't have, upstairs people don't have any business with downstairs people, and downstairs people don't have any business with upstairs people. The only thing upstairs people come downstairs to do is laundry, which is literally in one corner of the house. So that's the only place they go to, and that's it. And before I even found this place, like, I hadn't really seen anything like this. So for me, it was really like shocking for me. And when I saw it, I just grabbed onto it, because it's more or less kind of like you're in a 2-bed apartment, but it comes with the perks of living in a house. So I'm briefly going to talk about the pros of living in a house. Of course, you guys should know that number 1 will be free parking. When it comes to houses, most of the time, it comes with free parking. And if it doesn't come with free parking, they will typically tell you before even signing the lease. And if they don't tell you, that should be one of the questions you should even ask. Is there space for parking? Is it free? Just so you know, so that if you are looking for free, you will know that, okay, oh, let me find free parking, and you'll be like, okay, this is cool by me or not. So that's one of the things you want to like keep in mind when looking for a house. Another one is, make it could be furnished or not furnished. That's the thing with houses. Some houses you could be lucky and get it for a steal where it comes furnished and you just probably might pay. So what some people do is, if unfurnished is like 600, just saying for example, furnished to be 800 per month, so they will furnish for you and charge you like a 200. Or it could just be flat out unfurnished, or if you're lucky you could also find furnished. So that is just the thing with houses. There is a high chance of finding a furnished house, and most times it's typically cheaper. I'm not gonna lie, definitely cheaper compared to apartment buildings. You'll end up saving more in the long run. Also, in terms of like comparing it to an apartment where you have to stand and wait for the elevator to come, with houses you just have to climb few flights of stairs and you've gotten to wherever you want to go. You've gotten outside. It's definitely faster, that's for sure. Then addition, when it comes to houses, is you can pick, do you want to stay in a house that allows pets, or you don't want to stay in a house that allows pets. And for someone like me, that was such a huge relief, because then I didn't have to, oh my god, I'm entering my house and my stress level is through the roof, and I'm like, am I going to meet the dog downstairs, upstairs, somewhere, that kind of thing. I know I'm entering my house and nothing is catching me unawares. I'm meeting human beings. So for me, it was one of like deal breakers when it came to that. And when you're sharing laundry, you're just sharing laundry with, I'm sharing laundry with 4 other people, as opposed to like apartment building where I share the machines with over 100 200 people. With the cons, you're sharing the space with more people, in the sense that, okay, now as opposed to an apartment building where if it's a 3-bedroom apartment, you're sharing with 2 people. Here I'm sharing with, with my own typical setting right now, I'm sharing my space with just 1 person. But if you look at typically, I'm supposed to be sharing with 4 other people, so that's 2 more people. And if they're dirty, oh my god, it could be a lot to handle. It will be very difficult to maintain. So that's one of the things when it comes to houses. Another one is, on trash days, you need to check the website. They have a website where they post out the days they come and collect trash and garbage in like different streets. So you need to check the website on the day they're going to come pick it up. Take your trash from where you keep it to the sidewalk, so that they can pick it up, because if you keep it inside, nobody's going to come and grab it, they'll just go. Also, you need to sort your trash. Here they don't just put everything in waste. Bottles, papers have to go into, they have the bin, they have these blue bins where you put them in. So you always have to sort your trash, and if your trash is not sorted, they will not carry it. Also, I think when it comes to the food waste, it's the bag, it has to be bagged usually, and it should not be more than 20 kg. I think the bin, if it's more than 20 kg, there was a time it happened to us when the bin was more than 20 kg, they did not carry it. We had to sort it out again. So that's one of the cons of house. You have to be much more responsible as opposed to living in an apartment. Now, just because you guys are 4, you don't have as much room to make more friends, because it's just the same cycle of people you see day in, day out. You go back, you come back in. There's no chance of saying, oh, somebody just moved into 1 floor. You have a chance of meeting someone. So it's something you have to just get accustomed to. Now, because you're living in a house and you're on main floor, houses are never really that high. If skunk stays around in your neighborhood, and oh my god, they mess a lot, or I won't call it mess, but it smells like mess. Let's call it, I don't know what to call it, but if they decide to fart well, I guess it's the same, so I don't know, but I guess you guys know what I'm saying. Like, oh god, and the smells enter and it passes through, especially if it passes through your vent. Oh my god, it is not. I wouldn't even wish that smell on my worst enemy, to God who made me. But that's also one of the cons when it comes to living in a house. And lastly, when during winter, when it snows, you would always have to clear snow by yourself. Nobody's going to clear snow for you, because here, I mean, the government, they clear the streets, they clear the main streets and clear the smaller ones, but nobody's going to enter your driveway and be clearing your driveway, cool, and see. So you have to be the one to carry your, I don't know if it's shovel they use, and clear your driveway. So that's just another con basically when it comes to living with houses. So that is basically my own summary or things I've experienced when it comes to living in an apartment versus living in a house. So it's really up to one as an individual to decide, what am I really looking for, what am I going after when it comes to a house or my accommodation setting, to decide that this is what I want for myself. So anyway guys, if there is anything I missed or you think I should have talked about, or was a very atypical situation that you think I probably missed out or got the information wrong, do let me know in the comment section. Also, if there is anything you'd like me to talk about in the future or do a video about, let me know in the comment section. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you next time. Bye.